And here's one reason why I say this. As the Wuhan virus engulfs the mainland, guess what Xi Jinping is doing? He is threatening Taiwan to distract his countrymen and the rest of the world from the ongoing mess at home. Just look at what he did on the weekend. He deployed 71 warplanes around Taiwan, 71. And out of this, 47 warplanes crossed the median line of the Taiwan Strait and entered the island's self-proclaimed defense identification zone. And which aircraft were these? According to the Taiwanese government, there were 12 J-11 fighter jets, 6 Su-30 fighter jets, 1 CH-4 armed reconnaissance drone, 6 J-10 fighter jets, 18 J-16 fighter jets, 1 Y-8 electronic warfare aircraft, 1 Y-8 anti-submarine warfare aircraft, 1 KJ-500 and 1 WZ-7 reconnaissance drone. And this was by far one of the biggest incursions by China. And the question is, what explains this? On the face of it, reports say this incursion was in direct response to US-Taiwan collusion against China. Remember, the two countries are strengthening their ties, and the recent visits by the American leaders to the island are proof. So China's fears are the usual ones. US violating the One China principle and supporting Taiwan's sovereignty. In fact, it issued a statement along these lines shortly after the incursion was reported. And here's what it said. Taiwan is an inalienable part of China, and our operation aims to safeguard peace and stability in the Taiwan Straits. We will take any necessary countermeasure. In other words, what China actually meant was that the drills were in response to what it considers a provocation from Taipei and Washington. And what provocation exactly? Besides state visits by American leaders, the US has also passed a new defense authorization law. And this law aims to bolster Taiwan's defense capabilities against threats from China. It will reportedly provide Taiwan billions in defense aid over the coming years. And Taiwan says it will not bow down before such threats. Forget ending its defense partnership with the US shortly after the incursion. The Taiwanese president reiterated the need to boost Taiwan's defense capacity and emphasized on how it was imperative to be united against China's growing aggression. Taiwan's defense ministry has also released a statement, and here's what that reads. The actions of the Chinese Communist Party highlighted its mentality of using force to resolve differences, which undermines regional peace and stability. Now, all said and done, what this entire episode also highlights is how Xi Jinping is using such incursions as a distraction tool from the mess that he has created. We have been telling you about the Wuhan virus, how it has engulfed the mainland, but that's only the factor, one of the factors. The failure of China's 2025 objective, you see, by 2025, China had promised to become a world leader vis-a-vis diplomacy, technology, economic growth, self-sufficiency. It had said that by 2025, it will achieve 70% self-sufficiency in high-tech industries. And this mission seems to be going absolutely nowhere. All thanks to the Wuhan virus and the economic collapse that it has induced. Reports say the collapse is so steep that China will fail to meet this objective. Have a look at any report and it will tell you how China's economy is suffering, to say the least. Take this one, for instance. It says China's economic growth slowed down sharply in the second quarter, mainly due to the colossal toll of COVID-19 lockdowns. And if we speak of trade, it's also shrinking rapidly. Reports say China's exports and imports shrank at a much steeper than expected pace in November. And overall, exports contracted 8.7% from a year earlier. This marked the worst trade performance since February 2020. This is all due to the strain caused by the COVID-19 surge. And what's worse, the outlook for 2023 is even more grim. Reports say next year, China could witness a slump in consumer spending, with industrial output growing at its slowest pace ever. Now, we've said this in the past. states are more likely to engage in conflict during moments of vulnerability, when they are witnessing episodes of domestic unrest, or questions regarding the legitimacy of their control, or unprecedented economic turmoil. And China is going through all three of them. So what does the Chinese president do? He uses these threats as a distraction. He periodically provokes India, constantly provokes Taiwan, all in a bid to refurbish his image and maintain his control over the people, or at least try to do so. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.